able to move on the floor, and we think the power of the idea should be able to win. If you watched when it was offered, overwhelmingly, the majority of the House would like to see the TSA not hire terrorists or those who have been convicted of sexual misconduct with minors and others. But the socialist wing of the party that controls now the Democratic Party said that could not be offered. It took the only opportunity Republicans have, because the majority controls the Rules Committee, so we used it as a motion to recommit, and it is the 6th time that we were able to win on the floor. That's 6 times more than that have ever happened when we were in the majority. Maybe if you have a more open process, maybe if you allow more ideas to come to fruition and let the body actually vote on these items, that you'd have a more productive Congress. But the most telling part of all of this is not the Democratic Party we knew in the past. It's not controlled by the Democrats that we know in the past. It is members in the majority who don't even call themselves Democrats. They call themselves Socialist Democrats. But now their own ideas control the floor and deny other members their ideas from coming forward. So with that, let's open it up for questions. Yes, sir.
Yesterday, the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, had some comments about Justice Kavanaugh and Gorsuch that you said marked a dangerous new low in the political discourse here in D.C. Josh Hawley, Senator from Missouri, has introduced a resolution to censure Minority Leader. Is that something that you think the Senate should take up, and how else would you react?
Well, I don't think you should take this lightly. Think about who said this and where they said it. We have 3 co-equal branches. You had the leader of the Democrats in the Senate standing over the Supreme Court, I believe, before the Supreme Court's going to hear a case, threatening 2 new judges. Threatening them. Is not mincing his words in any shape or form, being cheered by it. We are so much better than that. I don't care if it was a Republican or Democrat doing it, is unacceptable, and it is a new low. It's inappropriate. It goes beyond just an apology. Is that what he really meant? We know Chuck Schumer. He's been a member of Congress. He's been a senator for quite some time, and he's been a leader. That's just so inappropriate. But to take it to that level, it almost brings a threat, not only to those members of the Supreme Court, to others, for others to act. I don't know if Democrats want to change their leadership over it, but I've heard some talk about it. So I would, from one standpoint of just censuring, I think there's other actions that could probably take place. I've always found inside our party, I think it's a place that you should look at if that's who you want for your leader, if that's the action, the words that you support, then they would probably do nothing. But if they disagree with those actions, I think something should happen. Yes. What do you think? There's nobody behind you.
President Trump has personally gone after judges. How are Senator Schumer's comments?
Very different. He's sitting before a case to be heard. He's threatening Supreme Court justices when they have the power of confirmation to them on how to make a decision on that case. If you have co-equal branches, that's not a role for him. But he's doing it as a leader in the Senate. Of an entire party he leads, he's voicing those concerns. And he's doing it before the case is being heard at the Senate. So the actions and the words that he's using spread out to everybody else. And it's over a case and how to decide that case. What else?
Can you update us on your FISA talks? There's some attempt to come to some compromise. How are things standing at this point?
I would like to see the get us to a point where we can find some compromise, find some reforms. I believe we can get there. We have been talking with Steny Hoyer and the Democrats in the appropriate committees. We have made ideas across to them. We've been waiting for them to give us their feedback or make an offer back, if you would call it that. I thought we'd get one 2 days ago. I thought we'd get one yesterday. I was hoping that we'd get it today because time is running out next week. When I get done with this conference, I know the leader has a colloquy on the floor right now. I was going to call him after the colloquy to see when we can be able to get that and solve this problem.
Last question?
Yes, sir.
When it comes to tourism in the Bidens, Senator Johnson, next week. I didn't House Republicans look into this when you guys had the gavels. Is this just pure politics?
Oh, this is not politics at all. Did you know of this beforehand? I mean, the knowledge when I became aware of it, we were not in the majority. Interesting to me that I don't think politics should ever play into it. I don't think partisan politics should ever play into it. But anybody that is of a power elected to a point of a vice president, that you could fly on Air Force Two, bring your son. You go to a foreign country, your son can do business while you're in that country. Your son can get a contract for $50,000 or greater a month with no experience whatsoever. That your own administration had warned you that this looks wrong and is wrong. That you say you did not speak to your son about it, but you have pictures on a golf course with all of them together. That you withhold money to a foreign country unless they fire an individual who's looking over a company that your son is getting the money for, more than $3 million. Then you find out later, even his own brother getting contracts and others. I just think good government is good government, wherever it is and whenever it is. This has nothing to do about politics. I think it happens to do about honesty, fairness, and the rule of law. I'm shocked that that question should be asked probably to the speaker. Why in all the times that they spent only investigating in their majority, why didn't they investigate that? The American public in the own polling said they wanted that investigated almost 2 times to 3 times more than an impeachment investigation. They have the majority, but they want to look the other way when it comes to somebody of their own party. Then now that becomes a question of politics. If you're going to look your own way just because that happens to be someone of your own party, will you not stand up for the rule of law? It'll be interesting to see, why has Nadler not held a hearing on it? Why has Adam Schiff holds a hearing on everything but Intel, but I would assume this would fall into the Intel realm as well because it's a foreign country. And then oversight itself. There are so many committees that's all they spent their time on. Why couldn't they find time for this? All right, and the next thing we'll do next week, we'll get to the bottom of this birthday situation. All right, thank you all. Have a good weekend.